Um, Good morning, everyone. It's Anna. Welcome to Virgo. We're stepping into your love observation for February and Valentine's season. As always, take what resonates, softly release the rest, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay connected with future messages. Now, let's see what love is revealing to you.
So, um,
There's someone holding space in their heart for you in a way that transcends conditions and expectations and performance. Not transactional affection, not love that depends on you being perfect or meeting specific requirements or maintaining certain standards. Unconditional acceptance, the kind of caring that sees your flaws and doesn't need you to fix them before offering love, that witnesses your mess and doesn't withdraw, that knows your shadows and chooses you anyway, that holds you in complete awareness of who you actually are rather than who you might pretend to be. And this isn't theoretical, distant caring. This is someone currently in your reality or approaching your reality who's developing or already carrying this depth of feeling specifically toward you. Someone whose heart is opening in ways they might not have experienced before. Someone discovering they're capable of loving more deeply than they knew. Someone recognizing you as worthy of their most authentic, vulnerable offering. In the particular frequency of February, where cultural focus on love creates energetic amplification, this person's feelings are intensifying. The season itself is giving them permission or courage or framework to acknowledge what they feel, to consider expressing what they've been holding privately, to imagine stepping forward with their heart in ways they might normally protect against. Let me illuminate what's currently alive in someone's consciousness regarding you. In the distinction between conditional and unconditional love, most relationships operate conditionally. Um, I love you if you meet my needs, if you behave certain ways, if you don't disappoint me too much, if you stay within acceptable parameters. The love exists, but it's contingent. It's offered with strings. It can be withdrawn if conditions aren't met. It's probable you've experienced exactly that kind of conditional caring in previous connections. People who said they loved you, but their actions revealed limits. Who supported you when you were easy, but distanced when you were difficult. Who accepted some parts of you while rejecting others. Who loved the version of you that served them, but struggled with the version that challenged them. But what's approaching or already present carries different quality. Someone who's developing capacity to hold you completely, to see your humanity in its fullness without needing to edit or improve you, to offer steady caring regardless of whether you're at your best or struggling through your worst, to stay present when most people would leave. Watch for someone in your awareness who shows unusual consistency, who doesn't withdraw when you're not performing perfectly, who seems genuinely interested in knowing you authentically rather than maintaining comfortable illusion, who asks real questions and listens to complex answers, who handles your vulnerability with care rather than judgment. Some people capable of unconditional love have done significant personal work. They've healed their own wounds enough that they don't project onto you. They've developed emotional maturity that allows them to hold space for complexity. They've learned that loving someone doesn't mean controlling them or fixing them or requiring them to be something they're not. You might be encountering someone who's done exactly that internal work, who's ready for real love because they've become real themselves, who can offer depth because they've explored their own depths, who can accept you because they've learned to accept themselves. These people are rare, but they exist, and one might be looking directly at you. This reflection invites you to consider, have you encountered anyone recently who seems unusually accepting of who you actually are? Let me clarify what Get Ready specifically asks of you. Ready means creating internal space to receive authentic love. Many people say they want unconditional acceptance, but their internal state isn't actually prepared for it. They're still performing, still hiding, still convinced they need to be perfect to be loved. And when someone shows up offering to love them as they are, they can't receive it. They sabotage, they test, they push away to see if the person will stay. In the preparation required to receive unconditional love, you need to do your own work, to become honest about who you are, to stop performing versions of yourself you think are more lovable, to risk being seen completely, to trust that your authentic self is worthy of love, not despite your humanity, but including your humanity. It's essential you examine whether you're actually ready for someone to love you unconditionally, because receiving that kind of love requires vulnerability you might not be comfortable with, requires letting someone see parts of you that you usually hide, requires trusting that being known won't equal being rejected. That's terrifying for people who've learned love is conditional on performance. Some people sabotage unconditional love when it arrives because it doesn't match their internal programming. They're so used to earning love that freely given love feels suspicious, feels too good to be true, feels like trap. So they create problems. They pick fights. They find reasons the person isn't right. They protect themselves from receiving what they actually want. You might need to consciously choose different pattern if unconditional love presents itself, to not sabotage, to not test excessively, to not push away to see if they'll chase, to actually let yourself be loved, to trust that someone seeing you completely and still choosing you is possible, is real, is happening. This reflection invites you to consider what would make you feel safe enough to let someone love you without performing. Let me speak to what very happy times ahead indicates about trajectory. Happy times suggest sustained joy, not just initial excitement that fades, not just honeymoon phase that gives way to difficulty, actual ongoing satisfaction, connection that makes life better. Relationship that creates more ease than stress, partnership that feels like coming home rather than constant work. In the difference between relationship that's hard and relationship that flows, some connections require constant effort, constant negotiation, constant managing of incompatibilities. They're not terrible, but they're not easy. They work, but they require significant energy to maintain. Others flow naturally. Compatibility creates ease. Values align, creating minimal conflict. Communication happens smoothly. Being together feels restful rather than depleting. It's probable what's approaching or developing falls into second category. Not perfect, not without challenges, but fundamentally easier than what you've experienced before. Someone whose presence in your life creates more peace than chaos, more joy than stress, more expansion than contraction. Relationship that makes you grateful rather than exhausted. Watch for how you feel around certain people. Do you feel lighter or heavier, more yourself or less yourself, more energized or more drained? Do you look forward to seeing them or dread it slightly? Do you relax in their presence or perform? These bodily responses tell you more about compatibility than mental analysis can. Some happy times manifest as shared laughter, easy playfulness, ability to be silly together, not taking everything so seriously, finding joy in simple moments, creating levity even when life is heavy. This kind of relationship becomes refuge, place where you remember how to laugh, how to play, how to not carry everything so intensely. Others manifest as deep peace, comfortable silence, not needing to fill every moment with activity or conversation, ability to just be together without agenda, feeling settled, feeling safe, feeling like you can finally exhale. This kind of relationship becomes sanctuary, place where your nervous system can relax. This reflection invites you to consider, what does happiness in relationship actually look like for you? Let me address what February and Valentine's Day specifically activate. February carries concentrated cultural focus on romantic love. Everywhere you look, there are hearts and flowers and declarations and celebrations of coupling. For some people, this amplifies loneliness, makes singleness feel more acute, creates pressure or sadness around lack of romantic connection. But for others, especially those on edge of new love or deepening love, February provides beautiful container, permission to express feelings, cultural support for romance, external validation of internal experience. The season itself becomes ally, creates momentum, gives courage to people who might normally hold back. It's probable someone in your orbit is feeling exactly that Valentine season courage. The cultural permission to be romantic is lowering their resistance, making confession or declaration or gesture feel more possible. They've been feeling something. February is giving them framework to express it, to do something they might not do in March or April or any other month. Watch for February specific behaviors, someone asking you to Valentine plans, someone sending you romantic signals, someone choosing this particular season to reveal feelings they've been carrying. Someone making move they've been contemplating because the timing feels aligned with cultural moment. Some people use Valentine's as excuse. They've wanted to express interest but needed reason. February provides socially acceptable reason to reach out, to suggest romantic context, to make intentions clear without it seeming random or overly forward. Happy Valentine's Day becomes vehicle for, I'm interested in you romantically. Others genuinely feel the seasonal energy. Their feelings intensify because collective consciousness is focused on love. They're more aware of their longing, more willing to be vulnerable, more hopeful about possibility. The season itself shifts their internal state in ways that make expression more likely. This reflection invites you to consider, has anyone been treating you differently as Valentine's Day approaches? Let me reveal what unconditional love actually requires from both people. From the person loving unconditionally, it requires emotional maturity, self-awareness, healing of their own wounds, ability to see you clearly without projection, capacity to hold space for your growth without trying to control your path, willingness to love you through difficulty without making your difficulty about them. In the rare development of someone capable of this level of love, you're encountering a person who's done serious internal work, who's faced their own shadows, who's developed secure attachment, who's learned that loving someone doesn't mean losing themselves, who can maintain healthy boundaries while offering deep acceptance. These people aren't common, they're precious. It's important you recognize the value of someone offering you this quality of love. Don't take it for granted. Don't treat it carelessly. Don't assume everyone can love this way because they can't. Most people love conditionally, love transactionally, love from their wounds. Finding someone who loves from their healing is a gift worth honoring. From you, it requires reciprocity, not necessarily unconditional love immediately in return. That might develop over time, but genuine appreciation, respect, willingness to be honest, commitment to not abuse their acceptance, understanding that unconditional love doesn't mean tolerating actual mistreatment. It means accepting humanity, not accepting harm. Some people misunderstand unconditional love as permission to behave poorly. They'll love me anyway, so I don't have to try. That's not what this is. Unconditional love accepts your flaws and struggles. It doesn't accept intentional cruelty or refusal to grow. It holds you in your becoming. It doesn't enable your staying stuck. You need to show up as best version of yourself, not because love is conditional on it, but because reciprocating care matters, because people who love you unconditionally deserve your effort, your honesty, your growth, your commitment to being in relationship consciously. This reflection invites you to consider, how would you reciprocate someone's unconditional love? Let me close by speaking to what this moment offers. February is bringing opportunity for love that's different than what you've known, deeper, more authentic, more sustainable, more aligned with who you actually are rather than who you perform to be. Someone is ready to offer you this. Question is whether you're ready to receive it. May you open to authentic love. May you trust your worthiness. May you receive without sabotage. Unconditional love is approaching. Happy times are forming. February holds promise. Get ready. Create internal space to receive authentic love. This person wants to love you unconditionally. Someone is developing or already carrying depth of acceptance toward you. Very happy times ahead. Sustained joy and ease are possible in this connection. February, Valentine's Day. The season is amplifying feelings and creating courage for expression. And your work is readiness, internal readiness to be seen, to be known, to be loved as you are, to receive without performing, to trust without testing excessively, to let happiness be real without waiting for other shoe to drop, to believe you deserve love that doesn't require you to be perfect. Trust this. Trust that unconditional love is possible for you. Trust that someone capable of offering it might be looking at you right now. Trust that you don't have to earn it or maintain it through performance. Trust that being loved for who you are is your birthright, not your achievement. Stay open. Stay authentic. Stay receiving. Love is here. Real love for real you.